Alright, more showcase on Elif. I've gotten a pretty crazy high score for my Phobiter, 83 million, and pretty much running the same team. For Dark Starlight, I got 80 million, again with the same team as well. And then for Sonica, with this team, it can score roughly around 20 million. Also, I just went ahead and bought the pass and got myself R2 slowed. I could go for R4 instantly from the Ripple boxes, but I think I'm just gonna wait for a while. But today's showcase is not gonna be in Falsetto Fantasy. We already know how good she is in Falsetto Fantasy. We're just going to look at her in Retro Miracle and also in Desolate Lands. This is my current APAP team. It doesn't have an attack buffer, but it's consistent to be at 7 to 8 turns. This is the relics. My Brewster has a little bit of accuracy. She has also a very high accuracy because she needs to land the Seer and also this defense break. Embla has 0 accuracy, and also with this set as well, because you don't want her to die too fast. Fushi, regardless of what set you give him, he will just die from the boss because he has 5 hits on his S3, and APAT will just one-shot him when he has a lot of the poison stacks. Tolan is just here to provide the debuff of Final Passage. And yeah, let's just go in. So with this team, it's going to be a 7 to 8 turns. For the 7 turns to happen is when Embla misses the defense break on the middle guy, or in the second wave. So this wave is always going to be the same. We're going to clear it within 2 turns. And then with this wave, it's possible, there we go, that's a 1 turn clear, because we didn't land the defense break on Embla on the first hit. If it lands on the second hit, it doesn't matter, because the only thing that we're looking for is when the middle guy doesn't get one shot by Embla. So with this phase, Fushi and Tolan will die from APAP's retaliation. So yeah, this team is very consistent, 7 to 8 turns. I've only done about 20 runs with this team, and it's already at 7.3 turns average, which is very good. And now for Andras. Again, pretty much using the exact same team, except instead of Brewster, I'm using Feng Shun. So the key here is to have Elif with a lot of accuracy. You don't really need to go for the 2-piece set that increases her S1 damage. It's best to go for her accuracy and then give her as much attack as possible with this Calamity set. And then Embla will be on the either the Calamity set as well, or the Warhammer set, or you can also go for Astral set and then the counter set. She doesn't really need accuracy, but you can also give her accuracy to have more chance for defense break, and it's very important to land defense break. Feng Shun will be on the Harmony set, HP speed, or you can go attack speed, and also a lot of accuracy as well, just to make sure that you can land at least defense break once on the boss. Tolan just needs 1 relic, which is crit rate. You need him to be above 50% crit rate so that the boss will one-shot him. And then Fushi will also be on the Astral set, or you can go with Calamity set as well. But for me, I'm just gonna go for Astral set and also counter as well. So let's go in. Again, the key thing about this team is having a lot of accuracy on Elif, so that you can land the Seer debuff and also the defense break. If you don't land the defense break, it's a little bit wonky. You sometimes don't kill the boss, but with enough accuracy on Elif, you will pretty much have a 100% chance to land your defense break in one of your attacks. So this differs a little bit for wave 2, because my Elif doesn't have the D3. She doesn't one-shot the second wave or the first wave, but because of Fushi, it's, you know, pretty consistent to clear the second wave. Okay, there we go, we landed the defense break, and then at this point it's just pursuits upon pursuits. And the reason why you want to use like Astral set on Fushi and also Embla is because the more turns you take, the more amount of times that Elif is going to pursue with her S1 and also S3. I'll show you one more time. Also forgot, this team scores within 8 to I think 12 turns. 12 turns is when you get really unlucky and the second wave you take like too many turns, but most of the time it's not gonna happen. Okay, there we go. This one is gonna take a while for the second wave to finish, but I think we should be fine, because now Elif is just going to kill off this guy. So we took like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, or 4 turns in the second wave. So that's why it can fluctuate a little bit in the turn count. Again, it really depends on whether you land the defense break or not. If you don't land the defense break, then you're going to be a lot slower. It's still a very high chance to win, but you'll be at like maybe 20 turns or even 30 turns, depending on how long it takes for you to land the defense break. And boom, there we go. I've only run this team like once, one multi I mean, and I've gotten a score of 9 point something, 9.7 I think. Yeah, 9.7. And then in the last game mode, DISLYTE lands Shadowgale. There's two teams that I'm going to show you, one with Fushi and then another one with Feng Shun. What is the purpose of bringing Fushi here? Fushi with the Astral set can go 3 turns back to back because his S3 will give him an additional turn. So S3, additional turn, S1, and then after the additional turn, you can proc an Astral, going once again for his S1, which means Elif will also pursue 3 times because of the amount of turns Fushi took. I'm kind of out of blitz tickets, so I'm just gonna do maybe 1 blitz. Okay, there we go, 72 million. My highest with this team is I think 100 and something million. Yeah, it's 110 million with this team. Alright, the next team, Feng Shun. Why the hell would you bring Feng Shun in this team, right? He's gonna be petrified for the entire time. You are basically just bringing him because of his random bonus buff right here. Whenever she pursues attack with her S1, she can get either speed up buff, crit damage buff, or attack buff, and 2 of those buffs, being attack buff and crit damage buff, will also allow her to pursue with her S3. That's the only reason why you want to bring Feng Shun here, and this team is also pretty crazy as well. It can get a pretty high score. I think my highest with this team is around 100 million. There we go, 80 million with a unit that is pretty much petrified the entire time. The problem with this team is that there's too many overlapping buff, being Sachiko giving the attack buff, Xuanpin also giving the attack buff, and also Feng Shun can also give the attack buff, right? The only thing that isn't overlapping is the crit damage buff, and also the crit rate that Sachiko provides. And the thing with Shadowgale is when you overlap your buffs, you're not going to reduce the counter. So I'm relying entirely on my Clara to cleanse the debuff, and with this team it's very rare to get a times 18 multiplier. Usually it gets around times 12 to times 16 at most, but it gets a really crazy high score just from the fact that Elif can pursue like crazy. And as you can see here, times 18 is very hard to get with this team. It's usually between times 12 to times 16. But even with this multiplier, this team can get a pretty crazy score just from the sheer amount of pursuits that Elif is doing. So as you can see, the boss is at like 5% AP and we're already at like a million damage. Look at that, we're at 2.6 million and the boss is only at 50% AP. It can easily get to 3 million score with minimal RNG, but again, the RNG is whether you can land a good multiplier or not. And I think the highest I've seen this score goes up to is like 6 to 7 million. 7 million! I think with this one we might be able to reach 5 million if I can get a little bit of luck right here. Yeah, 5 million, I think. Almost 5 million. 4.89 million. 73 million score with a times 14 multiplier. And with a unit that is constantly petrified. That's crazy. These are the sets that I'm using. Elif has 45% crit rate because I'm running Sachiko. Clara has the Ocean set. Daji has crit damage set, but you can also go with Astro set. Sachiko on the Ocean set. Feng Shun doesn't really matter what set you have him in, but I go with a lot of speed just to make sure that he doesn't have a lot of buffs overlapping him. And then Xuanpin is on the Harmony set. If you're skeptical on whether you should summon for R6 Elif or not, if you have enough to R6 her, I think it's 100% go. She's like the best unit for Falsetto Fantasy and also the best unit for Andras. Yeah, she's gonna increase your score in Falsetto Fantasy by an insane amount, and also in Ritual Miracle as well. Right now I'm ranked 15 just because of her. My APAP is ranked 23, Andras is number 6, and Shadowgale is at rank 38 just because of her. So yeah, that's about it. She's insane. That's about it. Ciao.